Aloha Wisdom Warriors, Jennifer here from Wisdom Flow Yoga on Maui. And I want to talk about living ether. Do you know that the space between you and other things is not just empty? It is crackling with life and information. And it is available for us to tune into or not. We do have free will. But let me tell you an awesome story that helps us really understand how alive and organized and teeming with love and information the space around us is, the ether. It's a story about an 8-year-old girl who needed a heart transplant. And the day came when the family was informed that there was a donor heart. So they came to the hospital. The little girl had the transplant and it was successful. She healed in the hospital for a while and then she went home to continue her healing. And when she came home, that's when the nightmares started. She had recurring nightmares of being abducted, being taken to a place and murdered. And she could describe the man. She could describe the place all the way to the detail of a clock on the wall and what time it was. And the nightmares kept coming. And the mother, of course, was very concerned. And so she found a child psychologist to work with her little girl. And after a few days of working with this young girl, the child psychologist came back and said to the mother, I am convinced that your little girl is reporting real events, and I think we need to call the authorities. And they did. And once the police got involved, it came out that the donor was a 10-year-old girl who had been murdered, and they had not found her murderer. And so the police very tenderly interviewed this 8-year-old girl to get every detail about her nightmares. And those details were so clear that they were able to find, arrest, and convict the murderer of the 10-year-old girl. Fabulous story. You can read more about it in Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural. It's also part of a series of stories about heart transplant recipients in a book called A Change of Heart. So this is a real story. And what is it telling us? It's telling us that all of the memories and information that rise from each life do not die when the body transitions. They continue on. The 10-year-old girl's story, experience, memories continued on in the energy field of her heart. And when it was received by the 8-year-old girl, that energy, organized, started moving through the body of the 8-year-old girl and formed into her dreams. So in a more general way, this is telling us that the ether around us and within us is filled with information. And this is actually how we communicate with each other in that nonverbal way, and how we communicate with all life in that nonverbal way. It's part of how we get the biofeedback and guidance from our bodies so we can be more effective healers and maintainers of our bodies. And this is a big part of what we teach at Wisdom Flow Yoga, that calming the compulsions, the weaknesses, the tightness in the body and the mind is what helps us develop this sensitivity, this receptivity to the information and benevolence that's within us and around us, so we can be guided, healed, uplifted. I hope you'll join us here at Wisdom Flow Yoga. Aloha.